Okay, now it's the right slide. Thank you, guys. 谢谢大家。好，I'll speak in Mandarin. Australia is the 全球第12大经济体我们大概有跟台湾人口差不多的人口。那澳洲有15所大学，所以澳洲是非常适合科技业在发展的。然后新州就是我代表的这一州，是澳洲目前最大的州，人口最多，也是最强大的经济体。那全球宜居城市排名第4，所以非常适合科技人才及科技业来澳洲发展。那我们非常欢迎新居民，有新移民，所以各位在座的先进们，如果有兴趣的话，可以到找我聊一聊。那我们也是一个非常数位、非常创新的一个城市。那我们也是非常适合创业与投资的我们的整个环境呢，非常适合很多的新创发展。那我们也制造了很多的独角兽像 Canvas Elysian， 这都是澳洲非常有名的独角兽。那政府这边呢，我就代表澳洲的新南威尔士州政府呢，我们也提供科技业很多的一些成长的一些facility， 还有 infrastructure 比如说Stone Chalk 他们 Tech Central。Quantum Terminal 等等的，那政府这边也提供签证，还有一些很多的这些优惠来吸引人才到澳洲来发展比如说研发的税收的优惠，然后加上我们还现在有 NIV National Innovation Visa， 有兴趣的话可以找我聊一聊这是我的资料，待会有机会的话，对，欢迎到我们的 booth S0603A 可以来。那这是对我的资料都在这里。好，谢谢。那我们现在欢迎下一家。
Okay, thank you, Lawrence. Please return to your seat. And with no further ado, let's move into the presentation, starting with Calumino. Calumino has developed the world's first thermal sensor for mass market applications. The proprietary sensor module and AI generate unprecedented data for dozens of industries. And let's welcome Liu Han to tell us more about Calumino.
Thank you. My name is Liu Han. I represent Calumino, a thermal sensing company, and our tagline as a startup, as a scaled-up company, we want to give a universal access to intelligent sensing technologies through thermal using our innovative technology. So I'll be showing you today what we do and what our technology is about. So Calumino was founded about 10 years ago in Sydney, Australia. My founder actually invented a new type of thermal sensor, which differentiates from the mainstream thermal sensing technologies in the form of high sensitivity and very low cost of manufacturing. So we have grown over the 10 years into a scaled up with about 35 people globally. We have a unique approach to the infrared sensing solution, which gives the unique value proposition to the customer, which will enable eventually the universal access to intelligent sensing in thermal. We also are providing a platform solution, which I'll show you shortly. So the core DNA of Calumino is actually a new type of thermal sensing. So it is derived from a lab research in which we can achieve thermal sensing using an innovative approach, which we call a MOMS approach, micro-optical mirror system, where it is designed in Australia and fabricated in a foundry in Europe. We provide this MOMS foundry and we build it into a thermal camera module. A thermal camera module that resembles as close as possible to a standard camera modules. People are familiar with today, billions of camera modules are shipped to mobile phones and consumer electronics. And this is where we're going to try to build it in the simplest form without the complications and necessary precisions, accuracies, and test procedures that are associated with traditional thermal camera industry that costs typically about $1,000 to $5,000 per module. And then our main customers are the device integrators. They build our sensors into their devices, which they sell to system integrators or customers or consumers for installations in their own premises. So on top of that, we also provide a solution where we use this thermal sensing signal that we derive from our sensors and actually provide useful data such as detecting the number of people, localizing the people's signatures, and so on and so forth. with this whole end-to-end solution, we actually enable the market adoption of thermal sensors at a low cost but high value proposition in terms of data acquisitions. So this slide just shows you the example of what we can do with a high sensitivity, low cost thermal sensor. We essentially on the right-hand side using the thermal signals to actually derive where the people are, and which at the same time provides GDPR compliance, that's privacy non-intrusive, that allows people to install this in office, in indoor areas, in hotels, in homes, where the data can be acquired for a lot of purposes, enable a lot of applications. We do have essentially reference designs, EVKs, as well as plug-and-play solutions with our partners that we're already demonstrating. We have already the first generation of sensor in mass production. You're welcome to visit us at our booth where I can demonstrate to you the performances as well. And I will not go into detail here. The markets that we see has a growing need for a sensor like ours, like a thermal sensor with a good signal-to-noise ratio with low cost, are foremost what I just mentioned, the commercial real estates, smart building applications, asset monitoring for really temperature monitoring, senior care for non-privacy intrusive people monitoring, as well as a lot of emerging markets where people have started looking into these areas where our sensors can be useful. So as a Calumino, we would like potential customers as well as investors to partner with us because we provide seamless integrations with the effortless innovation. We unlock new revenue streams, opportunities built on a strong foundation of innovations where the team has grown to 35 people and will be the first movers in smart sustainability, which our customer has already demonstrated with white papers on their pilot projects. And with that, thank you for your attention.
And thank you. That was a great start to the showcase. Next is MILLIBEAM. MILLIBEAM is a fabless semiconductor company enabling base station vendors to deliver 5G networks that come with a tenth of the total cost of ownership of regular 5G networks. And let's welcome Alfred to tell us more about MILLIBEAM. Please give him a round of applause.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Alfred. I'm from MILLIBEAM. Very nice to represent MILLIBEAM here to talk about what MILLIBEAM does. MILLIBEAM, as the company name, is a millimeter beamforming. So actually, a lot of things we do is RF millimeter wave technologies. And we provide the world's most efficient IC for RF millimeter wave usages. So MILLIBEAM established in 2021. We are a very young company, and our headquarters is in Sydney, and we have office in Melbourne, and we will also have an office in Taipei very soon. And we focus on RF millimeter wave technologies that can be used in 5G infrastructure and satellite communications. These are two primary areas we are focusing on. And also, our technology can also be used in areas such as aerospace and defense, and also IoT applications. So this is one of our major solutions. The name is called FarBeam. It's for high power application used in 5G infrastructures. We actually provide a whole set of total solutions that includes a very wide band beamformer and also a radio transceiver that can help you to support both two bands, FR1, FR2 bands simultaneously. That is a very unique solutions. Also, we are also working on supporting FR1 and FR3 bands in 6G communications. And also, we provide our own antennas. We have antenna in packages that can be used in wideband transmissions. And also, in our solution, we provide high power per element solutions, so that can help you to reduce the number of chipset you use in 5G infrastructure. And also, in our solution, we can support MIMO in FR1, and also we have our beamforming IC solutions. And this is our new product lineup. We have a new product lineup in Doherty power amplifier that can be used in 5G infrastructures. We support a very wide range of power bands, including all bands for FR1 to all band to FR2 as well, like N77, N78, N79. And we're supporting the power range from 15 watts to all the way to 250 watts. So actually, this is my last slide. MILLIBEAM, we can, with our solution, we address the current challenges of 5G and 6G challenges. We can, in our solution, we can help you to increase your transmission from 100 meter to 500 meter. And also, we have a much higher power efficiency that can help you to increase the current efficiency from 3% to 10%. So our solution can enable the 5G infrastructure more efficiently. So my last slide. Yep. So if you are interested to talk to us, please come to see us in Australian Pavilion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alfred. And continuing our showcase, we now turn to Morse Micro. Morse Micro is a fast-growing fabless semiconductor company developing Wi-Fi halo solutions for the Internet of Things market that can reach 10 times the range of conventional Wi-Fi technology and last many years on a single battery. And let's welcome Blake to tell us more about Morse Micro.
Thank you very much indeed. Hello, everybody. So Morse Micro, as the introduction said, we're from Australia. I'm hoping this is going to be a video that moves, but it isn't yet. I'll go back. It's a video of kangaroos to just prove that we're rooted in Australia. The point, so apologies for the fact the video isn't working. The data points at the bottom are the key ones for me to highlight. This tells you that this was a video that had a throughput of 19 megabits per second at a distance of 1.2 kilometers. So all of you use Wi-Fi every single day. Your Wi-Fi is good for about 20 or 30 meters. Then you either mesh it or you shrug and your Wi-Fi doesn't work. Our Wi-Fi is sub 1 gigahertz and it will work comfortably up to and beyond 1 kilometer in distance. So it's a game-changing Wi-Fi play. If we think about this in general terms, then we all fully understand that Wi-Fi can do phenomenally high throughput at short distances. And cellular, where there is cellular coverage, is a very powerful medium. Great technologies like LoRaWAN have been effective over the last 15 years, establishing the Internet of Things. But the data throughput can be quite limited. So the ability to do edge AI computing can be really restrictive. We believe there's a really significant opportunity for Wi-Fi Halo. Halo is a standard Wi-Fi Alliance approved approach to Wi-Fi, so it's plug and play with your standard 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz approach. And if I go to a version that gives you a scale of data throughput, then you can here see that at 100 meters, 200 meters, 300 meters, we're very comfortable talking about 20 megabits per second. If you need 3 or 4 megabits per second to stream Netflix, then we can do a lot of business processing. The blue line at the bottom here is the throughput that LoRaWAN is able to provide for you. It'll go longer distance, but very limited throughput. We're roughly 1,000 times the data throughput of LoRaWAN. We believe that this really significantly changes the way that the Internet of Things can operate. Yes, we all use cloud technology. I'm not sure whether I like the fact that Cisco invented the term fog computing, which is cloud near the ground. Cisco's term, but what that is a way of, at a neighborhood level or a local level, connecting billions of devices to the Internet of Things. We can enable that by delivering IP at the edge, which is a really effective way of changing how certain solutions can deliver. So, for example, smart meters. Today, a smart meter gives a single data reading on the electricity usage of a property. But tomorrow, we're going to see, and this graph shows it, the volumes of data that need to be transmitted through a smart meter really significantly increase. Because you've got solar panels on the roof, you've got EV vehicles in the garage, you've got batteries. So the grid isn't a single centralized thing, it's a highly decentralized thing, and we need to smooth the grid loading. So you need a high bandwidth throughput technology to transmit real-time sense and respond level. So smart metering is a really exciting area globally for this technology. Additionally, you can see that areas such as, if I move through this one quickly, agriculture is another really exciting area where at distances of hundreds of meters or a kilometer or two, we can materially change the way that precision agriculture gets delivered. So really, this is a technology that can apply to all IoT use cases. We have two chips. We have our first generation chip, the 6108, and just earlier this year, we announced our second generation chip, 8108. We have a portfolio of ODMs that we work with, and we're looking to engage and extend our ecosystem by working with other solution providers and other device manufacturers to embed this Wi-Fi chip technology in a plethora of IoT devices. In really simple terms, our new chip is it's smaller, it's faster, it has a longer battery life. So we're very, very proud of the engineering works that have gone into our chip technology. And just to give you a flavor of how game-changing the power efficiency is, you can see that this chart has changed the game from a power efficiency perspective. Recently announced as IoT Product of the Year, we're very, very proud of the Wi-Fi Halo that Morse Micro has been able to produce. I thank you for your time, and I'm happy to take any questions at the Innovation New South Wales booth.
Okay, so thanks again to Andy and the Morse Micro team for sharing their work with us. Joining us now is Perceptia Devices. Perceptia Devices is an IP and design services provider. It focuses on high-speed and ultra-low power mixed-signal semiconductor designs. Perceptia offers PLL-IP across a range of power versus performance trade-offs. And let's welcome Julian to tell us more about Perceptia Devices.
Well, obviously I'm not Julian. 我用中文来讲，我们这一次我是Perceptia 台湾的代理商，汇全科技的 Nicole。那我今天会帮他们来做这个介绍，因为 Perceptia 他们今天没有办法到场。Oh, I guess there's some technical issues. 我先简单介绍好了 ，Perceptia 它是一个 PLL-IP 公司。那基本上呢，它是总部在澳洲雪梨。那 PLL-IP 呢，其实就是在晶片设计的某一个模组里面做的一个板块这样子。那主要我们会需要找到客户，当然就会是像 IC Design House 这样子。那他们比较特殊的优势呢，是因为他们是做 architecture 的 background，architecture 的digital 的 architecture， 所以他们在 performance 他们的 PPA 的表现会非常的好。那我们先等一下我的 slide， 我再做一个详尽的介绍。好，等一下在 slide 上面会介绍到。那我现在先稍微讲一下，我们最高的 performance 的一个产品是 PLL8。那它会来了，好，Perceptia Device， 那我就开始。那所以就刚刚有讲到的，我们是一个非常应用在不同应用场景的一个 PLL-IP。那分成 PLL-A、3A 跟5还有2。那各个 PLL 有不一样的一些应用，针对不同应用去做开发，所以我会在下面做介绍。那他们除了做 PLL-IP 之外呢，也有像是在chip design 的 service， 但主要会是在就是做existing IP 的 migration， 还有它的 customization。那刚刚讲过，它的总部在 Australia。那目前的 partner 呢是 Global Foundry， 他们就是所谓的现在的 Foundry 厂。那还有 UMC、Samsung 都是。那因为他们现在也很希望可以往 亚洲市场迈进，所以尤其是台湾，所以也在跟 TSMC 靠拢这样。那第一个讲到的是 PLA， 那这个 IP 呢，它是 for 就是比较是 RF 相关，就是比较 high performance 的一个 IP。那它的 application 应用上面就包括 RF flow 啊，然后 clocking for RF 的 ADC、DAC， 然后 WiFi、5G， 还有 optical transceiver 相关。那因为刚刚有讲过，他们是用 digital 的 architecture， 就是数位的所谓数位的架构，所以但是还是有极少数的类比，但是是非常大方面的都是用数位，所以他们的在他们的面积、他们的功耗以及他们的表现上面都是非常的优秀，也很容易去做 migration。那再来是03的话，是一个 performance 的 computing 这样子相关的应用，像说现在大家很耳熟能详，大家会一直讨论的 AI 啊，然后 low jitter 的 application 啊，这些都是他们会可以。其实 PLO 非常非常重要，所以它等于是一个 chip 的心脏，所以在各个不同的应用场景里面，他们的 PLO 都是可以去做相对应的。那再来05的部分呢，它是一个我们蛮特殊的产品，它是 ultra low power 的一个 PLL。那现在的应用就更多元，这个应用上面就会可以像是 IoT， 然后 embedded 或者 low power 的 compute， 这些都是可以拿来做使用的。那刚这边再提到一下是右下角那一个图表，它是对应在不同的制程上面所呈现的 power 跟 area， 所以可以看起来是在我们市场上面它的竞争是非常非常优秀。那接下来的方向我会讨论的是我们在就是 RF PLL 跟其他 SOC PLL 上面想要做的一些优化。那在 RF 这一颗比较 high performance 的 PLL 上面呢，我们希望是在做一个就是 jitter 的 improvement， 那以及 2 point 的 modulation， 还有像 radar 的 support 啊，然后去 expand 它的frequency range 这样子。那其他这几个像03、02、05的 PLO 是比较偏 SOC 的这些 PLO 的话，我们也有这3点，就像adaptive 的 clocking 啊，然后像在一些客户会提到 functional safety， 我们也会希望去注重，可以会去帮忙做一些 testing， 然后甚至是协助我们的客户去得到他们的 certification， 然后还有像 automotive grade 的这个也是一样，我们会去协助我们的客户去得到他们的 certification， 以及在performance 上面做更精准的调整。大概就这样。那如果大家有兴趣的话，也可以到我们 Australia 的 booth pavilion 来跟我们聊一聊。谢谢。
Thank you very much. And closing out our showcase is Quantum Brilliance. Quantum Brilliance is focused on advancing diamond-based quantum technology, specializing in diamond quantum materials, and pioneering the development of diamond quantum accelerators that operate at room temperature. And now let's welcome Quantum Brilliance.
Okay. Hello. I'm Jaden, the Chief of Staff and Director of Strategy from Quantum Brilliance. And today I'm going to talk a bit about a different type of computing and a different type of chip, which is diamond quantum chips. So I'm sure I don't need to tell people in this room how impactful the transistor has been as a new technology in society. There's a reason it's the most manufactured item in the history of humanity. And it comes down to a basic building block which you are able to redesign and repurpose and mass manufacture into a system that makes many different varieties of devices. And so we at Quantum Brilliance are working with the Nitrogen Vacancy Center, which we believe has the potential for the same impact, but for quantum devices. So what would you want in a in a quantum transistor? You'd want it to operate at room temperature, and the Nitrogen Vacancy Center in diamond is the only technology that works completely at room temperature, and which I mean no lasers, no vacuums, solid state in a chip, just like silicon. Because of that, we're able to make it compact and ruggedized, and therefore deploy it in many other places, like you'd be able to deploy a classical device, tightly electrically integrate it with existing systems, engineering the nitrogen vacancies to fit the purpose of the particular application, and then also mass manufacture. Essentially getting quantum performance where you need it. And for this reason, so many companies around the world are already choosing diamond as a platform. However, many of the devices, as you'll see on the right there, are still relatively chunky devices, and that's because they need to go to more integration and turning into more of an integrated quantum chip. And Quantum Brilliance's purpose is really to develop these integrated quantum chips that are then going to enable the mass manufacture and the mass deployment of quantum technology. On the right-hand side here, we have a device called the Diamond QPU, or Quantum Processing Unit. And because of its low size, weight, and power, we anticipate these being deployed in many places around the world in a similar way to the way you're currently deploying GPUs. So what can it actually do? Well, there's some applications in sensing, but the one particularly I want to talk about today is the application in computing. Quantum is already is expected to be providing significant performance advantages in AI performance in particular, mostly in areas like reducing the energy cost of performing AI calculations. And this means both for our particular technology, being able to deploy not just a single large quantum computer, which you often see from other technologies, but being able to produce thousands, maybe millions of these devices that can then operate in parallel, much more like what you would see with, again, with classical GPU clusters. And it also means we're then able to deploy them at the edge. And this means that the inference market for quantum computing will also be available to us. We won't be locked in a giant data center facility to be able to perform this. Quantum Brilliance has developed a roadmap for integrated quantum devices. We've worked with the ecosystem that I showed before to determine what the necessary technologies will be that are going to bring this diamond quantum chips to market. We believe that the initial steps are around these type 1 and type 2 chips that are probably going to be sensing oriented. And then as we develop, and you can see the blue boxes where Quantum Brilliance is capturing IP, as we develop and add these additional technology layers, then we'll be able to get to this computing type 3 chip in the future. This is just a bit of a track record on what we've delivered so far. So it's not all talk. We have delivered some genuine quantum computers to customers at the moment. And I just wanted to highlight this one coming in 2025, where we're delivering what we believe to be the first cluster of quantum computers to Oak Ridge National Labs in the US. A little bit about us. We are 90 staff, primarily based in 2 countries, in Australia and Germany. We are backed by investors across Australia, UK, US, and Japan, and have currently raised over $70 million in venture capital. So if you'd like to know more about this quantum chip revolution, or if you'd like to get started on using a virtual QPU, then you can get started today. Otherwise, come and find me after the talk, or I'll be at the Australian Pavilion for to further conversations. Thanks.